Hello again and welcome back. In this video, we'll be looking at some vocabulary having to do with gifts and giving. Taudoron means gift or present, and it's derived from didomi. Hecharis also means a gift, and this is the standard word that's translated grace in the New Testament because the emphasis in hecharis is on a free gift, something that is comes with no obligation attached. Notice this is a third declension noun of the polis type, and so the genitive will be charaos, and the accusative singular will be charin, and the nominative plural will be chares. This is grace in the sense of a free act of giving. And so this is one of a number of words that we need to remember weren't religious terminology in the first century. So although grace really now in English is only used in a theological context, this was just gift. So when we talk about the grace of God in Christ, in the New Testament, this charis is not some special power or anything like that. At least the word itself doesn't denote that. What the word itself says is that God has given a free gift. He apodosis, on the other hand, is a payment or reward. This is another third declension polis type noun, and interestingly, this can be used, especially in Matthew's Gospel and elsewhere, for God's kingdom. So while we tend to think of the New Testament as talking purely about charis, about grace, there is also talk about apodosis. And if you're given a gift, you will respond with He Eucharistia, thanks or thankfulness. And this is the same word from which we get the modern term Eucharist, which is in some denominations the word for communion or the Lord's Supper. And it was called this from very early on because thanksgiving was the focus of a lot of the prayers around the Eucharist, just as Christ, when he instituted the Last Supper in the Gospels, does so when he breaks the bread and gives thanks. Here are some verbs for gifts and thanks. Charizomai is the verb related to charis, and so it means I give in the sense of giving freely or giving something as a gift. Notice that the stem ends in a zeta there, so when we put the sigma tense marker on for the first aorist, that zeta will drop out and it just becomes echarisamein. There's a sigma with no zeta. Paristemi means to present or to offer something to someone and to bring. It can also mean, in a different sense, I am present, or even I happen. When it's used in that sense of being present or happening, paristemi is intransitive. But when it's being used to present something or to offer or bring something, it's transitive. It takes a direct object, which is the present or the offering or the gift. This is from histemi, so we have to remember the shifts that take place with histemi in the aorist and other stems. So the first aorist is parestesa, and the stem, the real stem of paristemi is parasta, just like the real stem of histemi alone is sta. Apodidomi is related to the noun we saw, apodosis, and so the verb itself means I repay, I give back, or I pay, or I reward. Here again, just like the real stem of didomi is da, the stem of apodidomi is apoda, and so the first aorist is apedoka. And remember that didomi is one of these verbs that uses a first aorist form with kappa as the tense marker instead of sigma. Eucharisteo is the verb that goes along with the noun Eucharistia. And so Eucharisteo means I give thanks or I thank. And it's a contract verb, an epsilon contract verb. So in addition to lengthening the epsilon at the beginning in the aorist, we will need to lengthen that connecting epsilon at the end of the stem, and it becomes an eta before the sigma tense marker. So the first aorist form is eucharistesa.